Reverse engineering is a skill that makes you look like an actual wizard to other hackers. You're taking compiled binaries, programs with zero source code, and figuring out exactly what they do, how they work, and where the vulnerabilities are hiding. It's also genuinely one of the hardest skills to learn in cybersecurity because you're essentially reading a foreign language that was designed to be unreadable. But here's the secret nobody tells you. Reverse engineering is way more fun when you stop trying to learn it academically and start breaking things you actually care about. Before we dive in, here's how you actually learn reverse engineering the fun way. Download Cheat Engine, pick a single-player game, find the health value in memory, freeze it so you're invincible, then dig deeper and find the actual code that decreases health and patch it out entirely. You just did reverse engineering and you didn't even realize it because you were having fun instead of reading Intel manuals. Next level is Crack Me challenges, because they're specifically designed to teach you reverse engineering concepts without the overwhelming complexity of real software. Start with CrackMe.1, which has hundreds of challenges ranked by difficulty. Grab an easy Windows Crack Me, open it in X64DBG, which is free, and honestly better than some paid debuggers. Learn these tools in this order. X64DBG for dynamic analysis on Windows because it's free and the interface actually makes sense. Ghidra by the NSA for static analysis because it's also free and has incredible decompilation that turns assembly back into pseudo-C code you can actually read. IDA free for when you need better disassembly and graph views, and Radar 2 if you're on Linux and enjoy suffering, because the learning curve is vertical but it's insanely powerful once you get past the syntax nightmare. Start with X64DBG and Ghidra. Those two will carry you through 90% of challenges. After CrackMe's, move to analyzing real malware in a safe VM, because nothing teaches you faster than dissecting actual threats. Download malware samples from Malware Bazaar or the Zoo repository, run them in an isolated Windows VM with no network access, use Process Hacker to see what processes they spawn, Procmon to watch file and registry changes, Wireshark to capture network traffic if you enable network in controlled bursts, then open the binary in Ghidra and figure out how it achieves persistence, what C2 server it tries to contact, how it encrypts files if it's ransomware. I learned more from analyzing one real ransomware sample than from a month of tutorials because the stakes feel real and the techniques are current. Learn x86 and x64 assembly, but don't try to memorize everything. That's insane and unnecessary. Focus on recognizing patterns, like function prologues with push RBP and move RBP RSP that mark function starts. Common instructions like move for moving data, CMP and test for comparisons, JMP, JE, JNE for conditional jumps that show program logic, call for function calls, and read for returns. You don't need to write assembly from scratch. You just need to read it well enough to understand what a function does and where the interesting parts are. Use Ghidra's decompiler to see pseudo-C code next to assembly. Compare them, learn how high-level code translates to low-level instructions. Practice on CTF reverse engineering challenges from PicoCTF, Hack the Box, TryHackMe, and CTF Time. These give you real targets with increasing difficulty, and write-ups exist for when you're stuck, so you can see how other people solved it. Don't feel bad looking at write-ups after genuinely trying for an hour. That's how you learn techniques you'd never figure out alone. I've stolen more methods from reading write-ups than from any course. Learn about common protections you'll encounter. DEP and ASLR make exploitation harder by randomizing memory addresses. Stack canaries detect buffer overflows. Code obfuscation makes analysis painful with junk instructions and control flow flattening. And packing with UPX or custom packers compresses binaries to hide their true code. Learn to recognize these. Use tools like Detected Easy to identify packers. Unpack with universal unpacker scripts or manually by finding the OEP, original entry point, in a debugger. And suddenly that impossible binary becomes readable. Build your own CrackMes and keygens for practice. Write a simple C program that checks a license key. Compile it, then reverse engineer your own program to understand what the compiler did to your code. Add anti-debugging checks like is debugger present or timing checks with RDTSC. Obfuscate strings with XOR encoding. Implement custom encryption for key validation. Then try to crack your own creation. This teaches you both sides, how to protect code and how to break protections. Join reverse engineering communities on Discord, like the Reverse Engineering Discord server, Malware Text Community, and various CTF team Discords where people actually help instead of telling you to Google it. Share your progress on challenges, ask specific questions when stuck, learn from people solving the same binaries you are. The community aspect makes this way less isolating because reverse engineering can feel lonely when you're staring at assembly for hours. The fun part of reverse engineering is it's like solving puzzles where the puzzle actively doesn't want to be solved. Every binary is a challenge. Every obfuscation technique is a boss fight. Every successful crack or exploit gives you that dopamine hit that keeps you going. You're literally outsmarting programmers who try to stop you, and that feeling never gets old. The goal isn't to become a compiler expert or CPU architecture professor. It's to become dangerous enough that when you encounter a mystery binary in a pen test, or a piece of malware in an incident response, or a proprietary protocol you need to understand, you can fire up your tools and figure it out in hours, not weeks. That's what separates security analysts from reverse engineers, the ability to make the unknowable knowable through pure analysis and stubbornness. Reverse engineering isn't fun because it's easy. It's fun because it's hard, and every breakthrough feels earned.